Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 key millionaire habits that I've learned over the past few years. With that, let's start right away with point number 1, which is living below your means. So the main point in here is to spend less than what you're making. So when we're thinking of millionaires, we're probably thinking of people with nice yachts, huge mansions, nice cars, expensive cars, the cooler ones, choppers, and whatever you think is, the Hollywood lifestyle, I would call it. And then that's not actually the millionaires that I'm referring to in this video. I'm talking more about your neighbor next door who unknowingly have over $1 million in their bank accounts or in their assets, and yet they're still living a pretty humble lifestyle. So that's actually the kind of millionaire that I'm gonna talk about in this video. So how do they achieve that? From what I've learned, reading a lot of books, maybe studying from Dave Ramsey and other millionaires, I actually found out that most of them are having a pretty humble lifestyle. They don't shop at Whole Foods. They actually shop probably at Aldi or Walmart. And then their T-shirts, they probably bought it from maybe from Walmart or H&M. And they're not even willing to spend money on Gucci or Burberry or all the other branded stuff. But then they choose a more humble lifestyle. So with that in mind, I tried to think about it, and it really makes sense. If they don't spend their money, then they have some leftover money that they can eventually invest, and those invested money can eventually work for them and earn money for them, hence helping them reach the millionaire status. And then, so in that case, you really have to watch your expenses. It's probably easier to cut your expenses than to make more money. Sure, you can take a second job, a second part-time job, maybe working in any kind of job, and then use the extra money to invest it. But why don't you just simply cut your spending habits? Maybe instead of eating out at the restaurants, which might cost you $100 or so for a meal for 2 people, maybe you can just go out and go to supermarket instead and buy some steak for perhaps $10 or $20, and then get some nice wine for another $10 or so, and then you end up only spending $30 on your fancy dinner at home. So that's actually saving you $70 in just a meal. If you can do that on other aspects as well, for example, making your own coffee or even doing your own car maintenance, that's gonna save you a lot of money in the long run. So with that in mind, let's go to point number 2, which is budgeting. To be successful in the budgeting, in this budgeting technique, you have to be able to track your expenses first. You have to know what are your spending habits. Like do you shop a lot, or do you go groceries on fancy and expensive items, or do you go shopping a lot on like luxurious mall buying branded stuff? So you have to be aware of what you're spending your money on. I mean, if you really love it and you're being intentional of it, and you really love it instead of just trying to impress other people, then by all means go for it. But then if your thoughts is only about impressing other people, you might want to rethink of what you're doing. So with that, it's important to create a budget to limit yourself in some aspects. For example, it's important to pay yourself first. Maybe you budget 20% of your income and then make an automatic transfer from your checking to your savings account in another institution. And then after that, you can allocate some money to probably groceries, and then a certain percentage towards your car maintenance, your utilities, your restaurant expense perhaps, or fast food, or any categories that you want to budget on. And then after that, try to stick to it for a couple of months, and then if it doesn't really work for you guys, then you can try tweaking some smaller numbers in there, and then for the long run, hopefully you can find out what works best for you. Now, after tracking your expenses and budgeting, it's quite likely that you will have some extra money or some spare money in your savings account, or even in your investment account if you're already doing it. The third point here is to start investing. So investing is actually a very important part of becoming a millionaire, or at least in building your wealth. Why? Because investing is what enables your money to work for you. It's kind of your own employee that you ask to work and then make some money for you while you're sleeping, basically. For example, with the stock's return of, let's say, on average 7% a year, if you save a $10,000 a year, it means that you have around $700 a year of extra income for every year that you're invested in the stocks market. But then as you compound the interest and as you put more money every year, you're going to grow that passive income, and then eventually we hope that the passive income or the dividends or the capital growth or any part of the stocks growth can cover our expenses. Hence why some people invest heavily and they only spend maybe to some extremes 20 or 30% of their incomes and saving the remainder, and their goal is usually to retire early and to be a millionaire perhaps. And then with that, it's very important for you guys to start investing as well and then take advantage of the compound interest. The sooner you start, the more money you'll have in the end due to, again, the compound interest, which unfortunately I won't discuss in this video, but check out my other videos because I've discussed about it in my past couple of videos. So check that out. With that, I think that's it. That's all of the points that I'm trying to get through for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something from it. Please, if you like the video, please drop a like, and then if you haven't already so, subscribe to the channel and stay tuned. Bye.